Good morning. Um, I went to sleep maybe about 2:20. It was two something, and so it's 4:02 a.m. And I just woke up because of the heat and something hitting under this where I'm sitting. Now normally when that it must be two different systems up under this house because the heating system from the air condition just came on from the unit, but something else just went off. That's the one that have the heat coming up through the floor like a Russian force. And when it go off, it actually hits the up under the house. And I just felt it hit right here. Now if I'm sitting over there, it hits over there. So I don't know if hits in both places when it go off or wherever it is that I'm sitting. But I drank this whole bottle of water before I went to sleep. I drank all this except for that little bit right there. I wake up, I am parched. I feel like I haven't had no water whatsoever because this stuff is dehydrating us. And this whatever this is, it's coming up. You can feel it, the heat and everything coming up through the floor. Now what's coming up through the vents just came on. One went off and one came on. This one is the one that the air and stuff coming up through the vents. Now there's something just went off and it hit right here where I'm sitting. But it's coming up through the floor. It's not coming up through the vents. And it got heat to it. So they more than once that's why they got it sealed out there. So you can't go up in the house. But I need proof. I need proof. So I got to figure out how to open that door, how to open it up, and just have to seal it back because there's something not right up under this house. And the force is so strong on it when it cut off, it'll actually must jerk and hit the floor of this house. It just hit, and it is making my private area burn. Because it's going in. It's not just shooting. It's not just blowing. It's going inside of me. It is burning me on the inside. How it's doing it, I don't know. All I tell you what it's doing. There's this guy named Calvin Christian. I think that's how you say his name. I haven't looked at any of his videos in a long time. But I used to look at his video and he said he would always say the guy was gay because they would be going up in his rectum. He called it remote neuromonitoring. And that's probably the same thing. But this is not just uh, the wind, something going in my vagina. I'm feeling it's a wind, not wind. It's a pressure, put it right there, and it's coming up through some type of pipe system because it's actually hitting the floor. It comes up so strong. It's like a rushing. I can hear it, and it's like a rushing kind of thing. And it jerks. It's so powerful that it jerks, and when it's cutting off, and it hits the floor. And that's what I was saying at the other house. That I kept feeling something hitting where I sit at. So I don't know if they make this thing follow me or if it's just through the whole floor. I don't understand what's going on. All I know is what's being done. When I'm sitting over there, I feel it jerk and hit up under the floor over there, and I just felt it hit over here. And it's burning my vagina because it's going in my vagina and it goes in my rectum. But it's burning because there's a heat to it. So when one go off, the other come on. I don't know what happened. But that whole wall back there looks weird because stuff is moving. So then this whole system, I don't know if I can't say because I'm not in the whole house right now. I just know what's happening where I sit at. I couldn't sleep in my bedroom. I haven't slept in there since we first um, moved here. The first night we stayed here, I slept in my bed, and there's a big window there, and there was a military guy across the street in a burgundy car. And while I was laying there, I could feel something like a solar wave, something hitting my body. And so when I got up, I looked out the window. He saw me looking out the window because he was parked right there. And he backed up. He backed up again, and then he cut off the lights because he had some type of red lights on in his car. But somebody, there was somebody drove up. So I don't know why they dehydrating us. I don't understand. My sister is so skinny. They doing this to her. They doing this to her. But I don't understand why they dehydrating us. What's the purpose of them dehydrating us? What's the purpose for the heat? I do know it makes you sleep harder too. I don't know what is it doing to us on the inside. I know it's making my stomach swell. I do know that it caused me to gain weight. But it's drying my sister up. It's drying her up. She just and she eats. Whatever we put on her plate, she eats it. I don't care what you put on there. She eats everything. So she have a good appetite, but she ain't gained no weight. But her stomach, I notice her stomach is getting. She ain't have no stomach, but her body is small except for her butt. She got butt and hips, but her stomach has gained. I notice her stomach. She got some stomach, so this stuff is going in her too. They like shooting it up in us, cause that's the way it feel like something just rushing, 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 and it just rush until it cut off, and then when it cut off, it jerks and it hit. I don't know if it jerked forward. How did thing do? I don't know. I knew all I know is what I feel, and I'm feeling something hitting under this floor. And when I'm sitting over there, you do the same thing. Over talking about the man, the military man I saw. Someone else drove up, and he got out the car. That's why I know it's somebody in the military, because they hit on military. And he had a handheld something that he was still shining over here. It was red. The lights on his car was red, and the thing that was in his hand was red. He was talking to the person in the other car, but he still had that light shining toward this house. And I think that's the same guy. I saw another cop, another person, just sitting out there. So that's what this person was doing, just sitting out there. And I know that I said, wow, they're just going to sit there. So they had been sitting there a while before I actually videoed them. So I went and got my phone and I started videoing them. And then I made it where it'll get my, the video. I kept messing with the video too. And it looked like a white guy. But it was something on the other side of him. I don't know if he was holding it up or just something there. But I still have that video. But these people are hurting us. They're hurting us real bad. This every night. This not just every once in a while. It's every single night. Every single night. And then they doing stuff to us in the daytime because they don't never stop. They never stop. And I got to get out off of here because I'm hearing that sound. That static. The static sound. That's what I'm hearing right now. And for some reason, this TV, and I don't know if they're controlling it through Spectrum. Because I do know Spectrum is a part of it. I know Spectrum, the fire department, the police department. There's not too many people that's not a part of it. Businesses, agencies that's not a part of this gangster. There's just not too many people that's not a part of it unless they are the top thing. But I got to close out. I know this is dark. I didn't know this. What's it? Hmm. Maybe the fan I'm looking at. But anyway, I didn't want to cut the light on because I'm in the dark. I was asleep. I was asleep, and something just hit up on this chair. And I could feel that wind. It's like a rushing wind coming out from up under this house. And I kept saying that at the other house, I think it's a pipe. But I don't know nobody I can get to go put it in. I should have went at the other house. I should have went up and done it myself. That's what I should have did. Get my proof. And that's what I need. I need a proof that that's what these people are doing. I just I just fell asleep, and I had a dream that in the dream I'm talking about this. And a man was saying, run and hide. But you can't run and hide because they know where you go. Because you are a weapon against yourself. They have tracking devices in us. And then they have all this electric stuff coming up to keep us energized so they can keep track of us. They got it going up in our rectum. They got it going up in our vagina. Then we eating the food. We breathing it in. Everything is they could track us. If I make a doctor's appointment, they're gonna be at the doctor's appointment. If I make my sister a doctor, they're gonna be at the doctor's. And I had started talking about on the last video that I did. I was saying something about they don't even expect you going to the funeral. Because when I went to DC to my niece's funeral, they was at the funeral. They actually was attacking me in the hotel, and it wasn't even in my name. It was in my brother's name, but they knew which room I was in. They knew which bed, because it was two beds. They knew which bed I was in. And I could, on the outside, I could hear someone setting up the system. And I knew what they were doing because they had already did me like that at Fort Bragg. They did that at Fort Bragg. And so when I looked out the door, 'cause I was going to go out there to see where they were setting it up at. But the stairways, okay, when you go out the, out the room, there was a door. They had us at the last room where they could attack us from the outside. And so when I looked out the door, there was a man and a woman coming, and the woman said, "Ain't that woman?" And he said something about he was mumbling. I couldn't really tell what, but they was right across from us. So I put something in the door. 'Cause I didn't have the key. I put something in the door so the door to the room wasn't closed. And I went outside, but that like leading into a little room area wasn't the stairs wasn't there. So you had to go, go down or go around that wall or something. And I didn't do it because I didn't want to mess around and get shut out the room. And I didn't have a key. But they shot me up that night. Whatever this is that they be shooting goes right through the wall. No matter what type of wall it is. And I had to take it because I didn't have nowhere else to go. So at the funeral, I could tell there was something wrong with that pastor. There was something up with that pastor. And there was city workers there that was involved. People that I've been knowing all my life, they were involved. Even one of my ex-boyfriends was there. He was part of it. There are a lot of people that you know, that I know, and that we know as a part of this gang stalking. And they know what's going on, but you think anybody would talk up for you and help you? No, they're going to make money off of you until your death. And it'll probably come to your funeral. Will probably come to your funeral. But they celebrate your death. They have a party, a cookout or something. And they get bonuses. That's why they work hard. They'll let your death ease out a long time, 'cause that's how they make their money. But once they get you close to death, they work to go ahead and for you to die. A young man He's in his 30s, I believe his name. What was his name? William Daniels. William Daniels. Yeah, William Daniels. From here, from Fayetteville. Or he's living in Fayetteville. He just died this year. Just a few months ago. He did a video where he couldn't hardly breathe. And see, that's what they do to you. And I'm telling you, I'm not just saying what I think. I'm telling you what I know. How these people can make you have flu-like symptoms, have you where you can't hardly breathe, because they done did it to me. But he was on video. I didn't go on video when they had me where I couldn't hardly breathe. And I be steady trying to get me healed, because I'm not going to let them just mess me over. They had this stuff going through your doors. I had, well, let me tell you about that, William Daniels. He was living in Fayetteville, but at the time, I didn't know he was still in Fayetteville because he was saying he was going to leave and go stay with his sister. So I didn't know. I didn't know he had came back. I don't know where his sister stayed at. But anyway, he couldn't breathe good, and he died. But he was asking people for help because people can't work. They attack you so much. These were people, and it got to be like the FBI, somebody, because they go on people's jobs, turn people bosses against them, and they be gangsta out so bad and torture so bad on their job, they quit their job. People becoming homeless because if they ain't working, how they gonna pay for their mortgage and their rent and stuff? People starting to having to live out their cars. This how bad this is, and it ain't just anybody. This is people with some authority that's following us everywhere we go. No matter where we go, they follow us and turn a whole entire neighborhood. They turn cities against people. What they telling, I don't know. What I do know, they talk about the sex life. This one guy said they were saying he was a pedophile, but those are lies. The pedophiles are in our government, who they ain't saying nothing about. These are the rich people. These the pedophiles that they start saying nothing about, but they making up lies about us, and that's what made me wonder about the little girl that they sent at my back door. Are they trying to say that I'm a pedophile? Because it really pissing me off that they'll send a child to my back door. And I just happened to be standing in the kitchen window, and I couldn't tell if it was a man or a woman because they had hair. Kind of, but the person was real tall. And what made me notice, the person hid and sent the child to the back door. But see, I had 3 cameras going across the back of the house. And 2 of the cameras, I don't know why that third camera didn't catch it. But I do know 2 of the cameras took videos. She had a little dog with her. And she started walking and she stopped and looked back. And the person told her to go ahead. So she walked on and she knocked at the back door. She knocked at the back door, and the woman in the brown house, Smith, she came and knocked on the door. Cause when that woman ran over that fence, she ran over all that fence back there in the back. And that woman she came and knocked on the door. But the video, it didn't video her. It didn't video her. See, they knew how to make my video because ever did not Spectrum. I think those cameras do Wi-Fi. That's why I don't want no more Wi-Fi video cameras. But either Spectrum will make it not video, Arlo. I do know Arlo workers were hackers. I caught them. I caught the dude going through my computer, and I asked him because I was on the phone with him, and he told me to do certain stuff. And I told him, I said, I don't want you to have access to my computer. He said, no, ma'am, I won't have access to your computer. And I just happened to see the little pointer just going through my files and stuff. And I said, I thought you said you didn't have access to my computer. He hung up on me. And this is Arlo workers and Spectrum. They are gang stalkers. They are part of this program. And that's why I said, well, I don't want no more Wi-Fi cameras that you got to put it through the Wi-Fi. I'd rather get it hardwired. So it's not running through the cable, but these people know how to hack your drawers, you know. They'll hack your drawers. And it's not even running through any type of electronics. You know, it's good that people learn and have intelligence where they can learn stuff, but when the wrong people learn this stuff, it's bad, it's extremely bad. As this who has learned this stuff, bad people, very bad people. And evidently, I think they're getting this information from fallen angels. You know, they've talked about the central masters. I don't really know what a central master is. They're supposed to be people, used to be human, who became so spiritual until they went somewhere else. And you hear a lot of psychics. They talk about these people that they go to wherever these people are. So I don't know how they learning all this stuff. I don't know if it's somebody from another dimension. I don't know if it's the fallen angel. I do know the Bible say that people gonna be um, receiving doctrines from devils. So what they're gonna lead the truth and begin to receive information from doctrines of devils. And this is in the church. This is dealing with the church. But our government is receiving information from somewhere other than the earth. This is how they creating all this stuff that could go through. And see, they watching us. They have the type of stuff that they can put on their eyes and see right through the walls. They can see our body heat and know exactly where we are inside our home. So this is what they're doing, and they're giving this uh, weapons to people that could be dangerous. 'Cause I was a couple of years ago, I was dating this dude, and he had said something about he thought he was gonna go to hell for murder, that he murdered somebody, and I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention because I'm the type of person if you did a crime and you paid your time in jail and you trying to get your life straight. But see, now I'm realizing this is the killing that he's doing, gang stalking, because he was setting me up. And he probably still is involved because I just got that feeling. There was a man when we first moved here. There was a man came out there and parked between this yard and the other yard. I just get this strange feeling that it was him because he had a black car when he first started seeing me, and then he brought a white Mercedes. And I'm trying to think what that black car Mercedes. I don't know much about cars, But my granddaughter has said something about him having a Mercedes. I don't really pay a lot of attention to cars. The only car that I had really paid a lot of attention to was a Jaguar. First time I saw a Jaguar, I just fell in love with it and I said I wanted one. It's the type of car I wanted until I rode in. I rode in the Jaguar twice and I didn't like that ride. It rode raggedy. Let me get back to my niece's funeral. These people was following me at the funeral. And I'm looking right at them. Somebody was doing something to me to make me feel like a lust. I could feel somebody drawing on me. It was a weird feeling. But I could tell that preacher was involved in something. I could tell there's something wrong right with him. And there's a lot of psychic and Kundalini demonic spirits up in them pulpits. And I could feel as soon as I saw him, I could feel something wrong right with him and his wife. But they were just stuff all in that church. I could just feel stuff right in that church. And then when I went outside, this man he was a worker, city worker. We looked right in each other's eyes. And then this guy from my hometown walked past me, and then he walked back past me again and called out my name. But he just kept following me. He just kept following me. And this guy know me, and he know me well. And an ex-boyfriend that I talked to. I think I was 19 years old when I talked to him. Years and years ago. And then we went to my niece's daddy house. And I could tell those people into something other than the church. There's a lot of stuff going on with people. That people is into third eye and the Kundalini spirit and the Leviathan and Jezebel. They's into all this type of stuff. And I'm gonna get off of here. It is what time? 4:35 a.m. So I think I talked enough. Um, I don't know if they're gonna let me get to sleep or not. Oh, I will try. Try. Right now I can feel something burning my feet. I'm hearing that sound. So it's not rushing up, but there's still something coming up. Because it's hitting my feet. It's burning my feet. And I'm still having that burning in my private area too. So it's coming up slightly, but it's not rushing like it was. I don't think it ever stopped coming up. I think it comes up 24 hours a day. And these people with these cars parked with this stuff coming up through their lights. They be parked. There was two vans. They're not vans, they kind of like truck like. They've been parked there since they put them there. That burgundy car, and they were all burgundy. There's even across the street from there, I think there's a burgundy something over there. There's a burgundy car. across the street, and they haven't moved since they put it there. It's been about 2 months. Well, the white van and the blue, they come to go, but there's a white truck over there, and there's on the other side of it is a gray truck. They have that stuff on them. See, they put it on stuff that they're gonna have stationary, so that they don't use it. So that whatever they doing is on you 24 hours a day. If I go to my window, which I do because I have my plants there, but I don't know what this stuff doing to my plants. But I know that it's on my curtain. This energy is on my curtain, so when I touch my curtains, it'll tight. Whatever that is, attacks my hands. I call it direct energy, but I don't know if all of it is direct energy that they hitting us with. I do believe. I know they use microwave frequency. They use radio frequency, electromagnetic frequency. They 4 frequencies. Microwave, Wi-Fi. Okay, they use Wi-Fi frequency, microwave frequency, radio frequency, and electromagnetic frequency. Those are the 4 frequencies that they use. And this is what's making people sick. Everybody thinking they getting that C19, but they getting frequencies and energies hit and coming in through their house. But you can't tell it unless when they activate you, they want you to know what they're doing to you. Because see, they're trying to really make you paranoid schizophrenia. When they activate you, you activate it to death. Now they gonna kill you. A slow death. Even if it take 40 years, they still gonna drain every bit of your life. They're gonna try to drain your finances, have you homeless, have you jobless, have you familyless, cause they want to turn your family against you. And who can hate anybody? Who can have so much hate? Who can? And this is the police doing. I'm telling you, this is the police. This is the law. Some people got like this one guy. He got agencies like FBI, the CIA. These are the type of people that's following him because he's a truck driver. And these are the type of people he got following him. See, I don't go nowhere. So these just the city cops and the sheriff department and the military and the Masonic, the Masons. I think all these people probably are Masons. All these people probably are Masons. There was this guy, I saw a video of this guy. He used to be a Mason and he used to be a cop. He retired. He got out of the Masons. But he said 95% of the cops are Masons. So they don't leave 5% that's not. And once you get into the Masonic order and you go up to the 33rd degree, it becomes very demonic. These people get into some real demonic stuff. They get to open up the third eyes and doing all kind of secret stuff, secret knowledge. But see, they're not just learning secret knowledge. When they open up they cell, they demons enter. And see, this is what I don't think they realize that you opening yourself and demons are entering you. Powerful demons. And what the demons don't allow them to know is that they think it's them. The people think it's them receiving spiritual knowledge and spiritual power. But it's the demons tricking them. I was at church one time and I heard this loud commotion. I looked back and this man's feet was up in there. He was sitting out in the spirit. It flipped him behind the pew where he was sitting. So they brought him up front. And that man started wiggling across that floor like a snake. That was that Kundalini. His body was going just like that. And then he stood his ankles. He stood on his ankle and was going back and forth like a snake. I saw that with my own eyes. It didn't scare me though. But the girl that was sitting beside me jumped up and ran. She's an old time ago. She got up out of there and booked. I hit with there with her mom and daddy. She got up out of there. You got some people have bear spirits. Some people have lust spirits. Those lust spirit be. I never seen a person with a lust spirit in them, but I've heard people talk about it. How they the people with the lust spirits be like they having sex. They be doing sexual movements. People with a bear spirit, they be growling. I seen somebody with a chicken. I seen two women with a chicken. Well, those witchcraft spirits make you hawk up like a chicken. Those fighting chickens. That's how the witchcraft spirit. When you start trying to get a person delivered from that, they hawk up like a chicken. And the reason I know that I heard the Holy Spirit saying witchcraft spirit, witchcraft spirit, witchcraft spirit, witchcraft spirit. And then my pastor said this is the witches, the witchcraft spirit don't let you go. Because the woman was married to a pastor. And she was a weird actor. We had went up to D.C. or Maryland to this church. And these people had this beautiful home. But the pastor was from Lombard. But he had moved to there. And he was staying in their home. You know, she was just a weird act. The whole church, really. That whole church was weird acting. They didn't believe in laughing and smiling and stuff. But she was telling us about her first husband, how he used to beat her, and that she had went to the marketplace where they sell meat, 'cause they have meats and stuff, marketplaces up in D.C. And this man had told her if she wanted him to kill him, he would do it. But then she didn't say whether or not she said yes or no. But I believe she had him to kill him because they had come into a lot of money. And then she was getting more money. But we was praying for her and she hopped up like one of those chickens. And I could hear witchcraft spirit, witchcraft spirit, witchcraft spirit. We just kept repeating witchcraft spirit, witchcraft spirit. And my pastor said, oh, witchcraft spirit don't want to let you go. So a lot of people think you can do stuff and just stop doing it and the spirit go away. They still in you. That's why if you was a person that was sexually active or whatever, because they're not getting you delivered no more. You have to get these demons out of you in order for you to be safe from them. And they just laying there waiting on the opportunity to bring themselves forth. And when they see that opportunity, they come forth too. If you don't get delivered, and people not get delivered, they just stopping doing stuff, but they not get delivered. And she hadn't got delivered. That witchcraft spirit was still there because evidently that man taught her how to do witchcraft, and she must have killed her ex-husband because he was dead. And they were getting that money. They had a beautiful home too, brand new furniture throughout the whole house. See, a lot of these people are doing some stuff. They can get these great big houses. They might have a nice job and stuff like that, but they doing some other stuff too. They doing some other stuff, and they open up them third eyes. See, that's how people. A lot of people gonna end up going to hell, thinking they going back to Egypt. Egypt had them was people thieves from other places coming going to Egypt, and y'all put letting them get in y'all because y'all want some type of power. I don't want that power. If God Himself don't see me fit to give me the power of the Holy Ghost, I don't want no power, none whatsoever. And God has started working on me. I messed it up. I messed it up when I took my eyes off God and put it on the way my pastor was treating me. And I said, I don't want no more parts of the church. And I left. And I went back into the world. But see, God won't finish with me. Because I had a relationship with God. God don't just leave you when you leave Him. But see, once you go back and start doing stuff, you letting them things get back in you. And they're not going to just let you go. They're not going to just let you go. You have a hard time trying to live right for God, and then you mess it up at the same time. I need to get off of here. So be blessed.